Hi everybody, it's Jeff from VW Bricks here on Saturday evening. I was in a live stream yesterday for Jeff McElwee's Just Jeff, his Tons of Fun stream, and a group of Canadians were invited to come in and visit. And we were talking about models we had built, and I ended up pulling a model that I hadn't had out of a box for easily three, maybe more years, actually longer than that, probably 4 or 5 years. Which was a model I built back in 2014. Not a modular, for the record. It's actually a space vehicle, a space rover that I built. And I think the inspiration from this was really the Benny's Spaceship windshields. So I'm just going to quickly jump over here to my screen to introduce the model, and then we'll do a detailed video, and then we'll come back and look at the rest of these photos. So this is LL1219 Planetary Exploration and Workhorse. P.E.W. As you might know, the old Classic Space Legoland sets, the first few at least, had LL924, 928, things like that. LL for Legoland. So personally, for me, 1219 was December 2019. That's where I got the number for. I don't really know how long it took me to build this model because I didn't really record any works in progress during that time. But we will do a few videos kind of showing off the features, and then we'll come back and look at these pictures a bit more. So I will end this this video right now, and we'll jump into the other shots. From a top-down view, we'll have a look at the model from this angle. I built it with as much play feature as I could, like it were a real Lego model, or a real Lego set necessarily. Now, this being a Lego set's a little bit, I won't say ridiculous, but definitely be a large set. It's 22 inches in length, which doesn't seem long, but I mean it's good and bulky. So we'll start with the back end here. There are two doors in the back that swing out, and I'll do a couple other different angles so you can see this. There's two doors in the back that swing out. So first these little tabs fold down, and then the doors open, and then this piece here folds down. And this is to allow the ship to have a little bit more movement. And then we slide these out and bend them. They fold down and fold in at the same time. Again, I'll do many angles, so. And that kind of reveals the ship. So the ship would kind of hover up, the wings would extend, and then it would be able to fly away. We'll set it over here for now. And I mean, this little ship is a fun little build as well. I actually had designed it so the cockpit would come off of the base, so it is a little bit modular. Has a cool exhaust or intakes up here, a little bit of foam, the phone on the back. I like that detail to kind of give it a little bit of shape. And then, like I said, the wings, they kind of tuck into the body. To me, this is more like a hover type vehicle than anything. So, and I also have an intake right here as well. The blue part is basically all hollow inside using panels. So these two panels. So, all right, put that down. The next section is the center console area. So, like most classic spaceships, we have the radar dish that pops up, and it clears the two antennae that are sitting here as well. So it pops up. And then that allows us to remove the roof. Now, roof removal is a bit tricky, so we'll try and do it. There's a few studs holding this in, and it's kind of wedged in with some internal plating. I almost got it there. Sorry for my camera, it's not liking me today. Almost got it. I think there's one more stud over here somewhere that's locked. There we go. So the roof comes off. Kind of show you the radar dish design there and how it folds back in. It basically goes completely flush. And on the underside, I just have a few boat studs in here. It's mainly held together with these plates on the edge that hold the model into the frame here, although I just realized I've picked up, or I've lost a piece here. So This model was built over not a very long period of time, so uh, I mean, I built it for um, I built it in a short period of time. I built it to get it done at one point, just because it was a big build and took some work to get it to work the way I wanted to, and I wasn't 100% satisfied with it. The suspension on this thing is horrible, which I'll show in another part of the video. This is the first video of multiple that I'm going to do, first segment of video, so I might talk over myself a few times. But yeah, inside here we have a crew cabin, like the science area of the vessel. There are, let's see if I can raise these up. There are two access hatches on either side here to get down to the lower quarters. There are ladders that go down as well to allow for that. There is a door to the back here, complete one of the train doors that when they open, well, it doesn't open because it's locked in by studs, but it's more there for show. We have a couple of service robots, which are, the original robots from some of the older classic space sets. These dishes falling off. It's on the bottom there. Um, not coming up, but maybe I'll show you the crew in a few minutes. And about 5 workers in here, space guys. There's computer panels on the side with levers in order to access the control area. And then walking towards the front, there's an open area here to get to where this guy is here. So I will open this up. It probably might fall off. It did not. So in here we have just move this model back a bit. Yeah. So in here, there's another ladder going down to the lower cabin with a guy walking up. So it's just basically the corridor in. The windows do open on the front, which they would never really do that in the actual model, and that piece falls off when you do that. But that would just allow me to get into to fix it. I think my main reason for building this model was to use these spaceship canopies from the Benny spaceship. I wanted to build a rover, or I figured a rover would be the best use for it, especially for more than one. So I'll stop this video, I'll reset the model, and then we'll do another angle. Okay, so here we have a side angle of the vehicle. This is the left side of the vehicle from the front. And following the classic space original tradition with the red wheels, black tires, I went with that. I did put a little blue dot in the middle just to give it a little bit of a pattern. We have the classic yellow, black, yellow bumblebee stripe on the walls, on the panels here on the doors. And you can see here some little antennas on the back just to give it a little bit of um, you know, different radio receiver type stuff, I guess. Again, I'll show you the operation on the back here. So we fold these two panels down. Let me just turn them out a little bit. There we go. So we fold these two pieces down, and that allows us to open these doors. And then this piece folds down, and then these walls get slid out. So I have these the rail here to allow me to grab it a bit, because it does kind of go down together. And you'll notice here there's a plate sticking out, or a tile area sticking out, and these little fins, which actually these fit perfectly in. So it kind of keeps everything snug and tight. Then we can take our vehicle up and out. Make it fly away. I'll rotate it again here to show you the back. Excuse my shoulder in the shot. Maybe I can do it this way. So on the back here, there's a ladder also that folds down that would allow them to get to the ground level. It is at ground level. You can't really. There you go. And then there's this little tiny access ladder here that's inverted inside. That would allow them to get up. Again, our door is here. This is part of the suspension, or the chassis. So that's in there as well. And again, I can just close this up as well. Just give you an idea. This folds up, and then in. Oops, ladder has to go up first. Both doors have to be open. There we go, ladder in, and then these seal up here. There's a little gap in here, which I couldn't really fill in just because of the angles in here. But overall, I'm happy with that back end design. All right, let's go to the side here. We'll pick them all up again. Okay, so from the side, we have a door here that slides down. Now, this is a little hard to open, so I'm going to try it with a brick separator, which actually worked. And I'll show you the construction of this because I really love how I did this. But so this basically slides down. It is actually on a slider, and it's actually using the garage door rails, or the garage door bricks, the 14 long garage door bricks. I believe that's what it's using. Yeah, it's built sideways. So this slides down and then kind of just flattens out. So it's a ramp in order to get in. Again, we have a ladder. Let's see if we can get a little lower. I don't know if I can. My arm is pretty much extended all the way out. Oh, there we go. The arm can come out. We have this little hover guy that's able to come out and do some exploring. Oops, sorry, I just realized I was blocking the shot. So this hover guy is just basically a chair, a little computer panel, and then on the bottom is one of these octagon-shaped wheels in dark gray, and then there's just clips for all the individual dishes. So, oops, I had to pick that up. So, where did it go? So it just gives a nice rounded effect. So once I fold all these back in, it does help to have the dish on first, the 3-wide dish, because that allows you to maintain the shape a bit, so that everything's level. So I like that design. So yeah, on this in here, there is a door rail. Let me just see if I can get a better angle here. You can see here there is a door rail, garage door, or the garage rail. It's the 14 long one, as I said. And you can see it comes all the way down here to the corner. It's a curve. It goes all the way up. So all this is built sideways. And basically what I've done, just back up a bit, basically what I've done is used these wheel plates, these axle holders, with a half stud offset, which gives it enough that it'll lock in to the rail. It's a little snug, doesn't slide as easily as the doors, but at the same time, I did like that effect because it allowed me to give it some strength. So I can move it up a bit, have the door look like it's closing. I can go all the way up, and then it would lock in. And on the bottom here is a row of panels just to hold it in place. So, like I said, it can be finicky to open. It's probably not going to open for me that well now. Radar dish, raise this up again. Radar dish comes up. Not much really to see from this angle. And it does actually have steering. I think the last video I'll do is the underbelly. There is some steering in here, but there's no steering column or anything to actually control it because it doesn't actually drive. It's currently wedged up. Suspension in this is horrible, and I had to do what I had to do. So I'll change the angle again and come back in a moment. All right, so now we are looking at this model from a top-down view. Well, kind of a top-down view, an upper view. Again, just to give you a bit of detail on the radar dish, which obviously you can't see now because I just raised it. There we go. So radar dish comes down, clears these two antennas. Classic Space logo on this front here. There's also a couple on the back if you hadn't noticed yet. And blue and gray striping throughout. Now there's a little bit old gray, new gray mixed in together because some of the parts I just didn't have. I'm using these larger 65-degree panels as well to just, well, it was to take up some space to give me a smoother slope as well, and just I needed bigger parts just to make the build go quicker. So again, you can see the white space guy there is climbing up. Wheels turn, as I said, and you can see a bit of turning going on, like it is kind of carrying over, but not very well. So let's see if we can lower the camera here. Get into the cockpit area. Now I might just pull this cockpit right off. Let's just do that. I'm going to pull it right off so you can kind of see inward. Now I have a light on this, so I'm hoping it works to at least illuminate. A little bit. So That's the brightest it goes, yeah. So you can see this driver has basically a consoles, a bunch of computer screens that are surrounding him. I'm pretty sure this one needs to be, oh no, there's a chair back here too. So there's a couple seats on this side, and then the same similar layout, oops, sorry about that, on the other side. This also explains where a lot of my blue spacemen have gone, because I was realizing I didn't have them a while ago. So I got a couple of guys here. I've got a black one as well who's kind of looking sideways. Oh, and this came out, so why not? So these are just snotted in as well. Let's see if I can actually lift them out. I think they come out. Yep. So I'll pull the camera back again. So this is the front view, and a couple of guys here, and then we have their computer panels as well, and then there's an extra panel on the back here as well. So basically we have a few drivers, a few controllers on either side of the vehicle, and oh, that was working. So you can kind of see in there as well this just the bricks for snotting to get it to lock in. So I'm not going to actually lock this back in for now, although I think I just did. No, not quite. I'll just reattach these windows quickly too as I pull it back. So I don't know if there's anything else really to show from this angle, so we will. I'll show you the underside next, I think. All right, last video of the live section of videos here will be the underside of the model. Now this model is based on, at least the Technic frame for this is based on the 8466 Technic 4x4 off-roader. It's the same vehicle that had these large wheels to begin with, so I figured that frame would be a good start for building the model like I built it now. This is back when lift arms were fairly new. There's a bunch of these the angled lift arms and stuff, so that actually posed a bit of challenge just because I had to go from lift arms to Technic bricks because the rest of the model is all bricked. So there's a bit of a challenge there, but I think I overcame it fairly well. Now the shocks that were used in this were these yellow shocks, the larger ones, probably about that big. And as you'll see by the model, I added extra shocks and still had no structure, no weight capacity. Like the payload, the amount of weight these shocks can handle is has been exceeded drastically. So let's actually just jump over to the build camera here, and we'll wait for it to come up. There we go, and we'll adjust it a bit. All right, so as you can see, the suspension and shocks are all in here. The suspension is all in here in the frame. I have these bricks on here, four bricks worth in height on a plate, just for the fact that it will not rest on its own weight. It just basically bellies onto the ground. So I just use these to fake a suspension system. So as I said, there's a, let's just see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, I can get the angle just right. We'll see. There's one shock here, and then there's another shock embedded in back. I think when I flip it over in a moment, you'll be able to see that. So yeah, I basically just took the existing suspension from that 8466 vehicle and modified it, put it into blue, yellow, black colors. Again, just trying to keep that together. I've also got some the underbelly here. You'll see there's some Technic beams in here to hold these two sections together, because this line here is where, oops, sorry, I just realized the camera's on it. This line here is where the bricks basically match up. So these are female, or these are the non-studded ends are meeting because studs are running this way and this way. So I use these yellow beams on the side to kind of hold that structure together. Let's flip it over for a minute. I'm just going to back the camera up, raise it up a bit, angle it. There we go. So when I flip it over, try to flip it over, it's a little bit of a challenge. But as I come back over here, get the camera in the right angle, you can see the double shocks in there, and there's like no resistance whatsoever. In fact, I'll pull these blocks off the bottom now that I'm pretty much done this video. Back it up again. So the blocks are off, and we'll see it's now belly rubbing on the ground. So it can ride low. It's like a low rider, Cali style, I guess. But no, not what I originally intended. But you know, um, I could look at beefing up the suspension and doing something to it. But at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or build it into something new. So, all right, I think that's it. We'll jump back to the closing statements. All right, coming back now to the actual photos. There's a few shots of the interior that might be a little more detailed than what we've seen with the camera. So we'll have to see how it goes. But let's go through. So this was kind of my first shot of just setting the scene, kind of making it look like a set, like a box might. Obviously, I didn't really spend time. Excuse me. Obviously, I didn't really spend time with digital editing to make this, remove the background, add a spacey theme. But at the time, I was considering it, and yes, those are tables in the background that I used as a background. So let's go to the next picture here. So here's kind of a front-up view, kind of a tight photo, giving you the height and the width of the model, or showing you the front end of the model, I guess. There are some dark gray pieces in the front here because these are one of those slopes that at the time was fairly new. It's a 45-degree slope with the plate on the end, like underneath, so it's not a full slope. And they only came in a few colors, so I put dark gray in here with the thought eventually of swapping it out for, apparently I'm really tired, swapping it out for light gray or something else in the future, and I never did. So we have the classic bumblebee stripe on the front, yellow, black, yellow. Let's go to the next picture. So here we can see the satellite dishes down. The side compartments are open as well. Not much more to talk about on this one. Here's a close-up of the front of the vehicle, showing you some of the details. These stickered parts were originally from some Arctic sets from probably the late 90s, I would say. Late 90s, very, very early 2000s, something like that. They were like an orange Arctic theme, orange and blue. So I had used them here just because they were stickered, and the yellow and black stickers worked well, at least for this model. Another shot trying to get into the cockpit area so you can see it. I think there's a better shot here. There we go, a little bit more lighting to show that there's a couple of seats here. There's the gentleman, the guy is climbing up the ladder right here, and the other side also reflects this. I did blow this out a bit, or take one of these compartments out during the video so you can see it as well. So same shot, just different shade. Or no flashes, I should say. So here's a side view. We can see the compartment door is lowered. There's the robot out. There's a couple of space guys around. Again, trying to give it that Legoland set feel, or box feel. Another scene. Not much really to talk about here. And then a top side view, so you can see the ship compartment in the back. The lab here in the middle, where this robot has been taken off as his charger because he's outside of the scene. The access panels down to the ground, and then the stairs up to go to the front of the vehicle. So, bit of a backhand shot. Again, the black-yellow striping continuing on the back. The Classic Space logo's up here, the black and yellow striping on the side panel. And here you can see it's being held up by some bricks underneath because, well, suspension is not fun. All closed up. Yeah, well, sorry, side doors are closed up, so be ready to start rovering or moving around. Here you can see the back panels have been pulled back. This area here on the back has been folded over. Again, just to give it a bit of room so the vehicle can get out easily, because if not, it might hit some of the front stuff. And then there you can see the back panel open again with the stairs going down, so they can explore that area. Shot of the inside here with like some mechanical bits here. This mechanical area is really just covering up the Technic substructure, the Technic frame inside. So I detailed it with a little bit of design in here just to give it a little bit more technical look. And that's it for these photos. So um, I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, let me know. I love having comments. If there's something else you want to see in this model, please let me know. Hopefully we'll get this video out in the next few days. Going to be a bit of editing for this one just to get all the videos together. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later.